The history of colonization and development of Australia. The Australian Aboriginal culture is one of the oldest on the planet, and it is estimated that the occupation of this region began about 50,000 to 65,000 years ago. When Europeans arrived in Australia, the Aboriginal people were hunter-gatherers and had a population of around 750,000 people. The Aboriginal people were composed of two groups, the Aboriginal peoples of the Australian mainland and Tasmania, and the Islander peoples of the Torres Strait in the seas between Queensland and Papua New Guinea. At the time of colonization, there were about 250 Aboriginal languages. Today, most Aboriginal people speak English with a mix of Aboriginal vocabulary, which has given rise to Australian Aboriginal English. Before European settlement, the distribution of the Indigenous population was similar to that of the current Australian population, with the majority living in the southeast along the Murray River. The first European sighting of Australia is attributed to the Dutch. The ship Jufken sighted the coast of the Cape York Peninsula in 1606. It was the Dutch who mapped the northern part of Australia, naming the continent New Holland. In 1770, James Cook mapped the eastern coast and claimed it for Great Britain, naming it New South Wales. In 1783, the British government sent a fleet of ships with the aim of establishing a penal colony in New South Wales. The colony expanded and developed an economy based on agriculture, fishing, whaling, trade with incoming ships, and construction. Subsequently, this colony became a civil society. The Indigenous population decreased throughout the following century due to diseases and conflicts with settlers. There was resistance from the Aboriginal people to the British invasion, which led to retaliation and even massacres. European diseases greatly affected the Aboriginal population as smallpox, measles, and influenza spread among Indigenous camps, becoming one of the main factors in the decline of the original population. During the 19th century, the British continued to settle in other areas. In 1827, Edmund Lockyer established a settlement at King George, Albany, which is now Albany. In 1829, the Swan River Colony was founded where Perth is today, and in the following years, separate colonies were created in New South Wales. Between 1820 and 1830, there were numerous border conflicts between settlers and Aboriginal people, which led colonial governments to develop policies to protect the Aboriginal people. Although the aim was to protect them, the result was their criminalization, which led to the closure of protection offices in 1857 due to high costs and failure to meet original objectives. When the gold rush began in 1850, migrants from China, North America, and Europe started arriving in Australia, increasing the population until the Federation of the Colonies was achieved in